Hi, hello. In this video, we are going to discuss about an important tool called Sipoc. Sipoc stands for Supplier Input, Process, Output, and Customer. Right? In Sipoc, only the high-level view of the process is included, and so sometimes we call it as the high-level process map. And Sipoc helps in visualizing all the stakeholders as well as the project boundaries. And thereby, the requirements of the stakeholders can be understood very well. And moreover, the project can be scoped very well, right? And for that purpose, always any Six Sigma project will, include a SIPOC diagram while submitting the project proposal in the form of a project charter. So let us understand about the SIPOC. So a Sipoc diagram is a tool used by a project team to identify all relevant elements of a process improvement project before the work begins. It helps define a complex project that may not be well scoped. And see here in the picture, a Sipoc for a credit card processing. Right, the credit card issue process is clearly laid out. You can see supplier is the salesperson, input is the signed application, process is the credit card ordering process, and output is the actual credit card, and the customer is the end user who have requested for the card. Now when you actually visualize the process, there are only 5 steps involved in the credit card ordering process or scoped scoped in this project, starting from the order entry and then performing the credit check, whether the candidate applied is eligible for the credit card or not, and then the credit card is ordered, and then the mail confirmation is sent to the card requester, and then the documents are filed. And so only this much part of the process is actually considered as in scope, and this process is considered for improvement. And similarly, another example here, making a photocopy. When we actually make a photocopy, again the process starts with putting the original on the glass, and then we need to close the lid, and then we need to adjust the settings, and then we need to start the press the start button, and then we finally collect the originals and remove the remove the originals and collect the copies, right? And see here, in order to do this process, we need copier, we need paper, we need toner, we need the original that is to be copied, and we also need electricity, and overall the suppliers for this. Because if and only these suppliers provide quality inputs here, the process can go on correctly, and then the output of the process is the photocopies, and these photocopies in appropriate format, maybe size, and then the color and other things, or as per the requirements of the customer. Maybe the customers or you yourself might require a copy, and that's why you photocopied it, and then you might require it for filing purpose, and then you might require to send it to some others. So what are they are the stakeholders, or all of them are considered the customers here, and all their requirements should get fulfilled by this process. If there is a gap in this process, if there is the chance for failure, we will improve the process, and thereby the process will always deliver results as expected, right? So this is how the Sipoc will go for simple process. And now another simple process, Sipoc for pizza preparation and delivery. See here, the process goes like this: customer places an order for the pizza, and then the cashier, after collecting the cash, he transfers the details to the cook, and then the cooking instruction and then the delivery instructions were passed on to the cook, and then the cooking personnel will actually cook the pizza, and then the cooked pizza will be boxed and then packed properly with all the the necessary items, and then the pizza will be collected by the delivery person, and then he will deliver the pizza to the end external customer, and then the delivery person returns to the office. So this is the process, and there might be some finer details that was not explained here. However, the starting point and ending points are made clear, and that's why we call it high level process map. Later on, when we want to really analyze the process, we'll develop the process to have all the even minor steps included, and then we will analyze it for the possible failure modes, analyze it for the possible the wasteful activities, and then we will try to improve the process to produce defect free results. And see here in this process, the input at every stage, for example, when the cashier is transferring the details, and the input is order details, whatever, what kind of pizza and what kind of topping you wanted and what are your delivery instruction. See here, all these things comes as the output, and that is received by the pizza making personnel, and as well as the information is shared with the delivery personnel, because he is responsible for timely delivery of the pizza. So all the stakeholders are brought into the tool, brought into the format, and thereby all their requirements are taken into account, and the process fulfills all the stakeholders requirement and ultimately the end users requirement. Similarly, when you want the pizza to be packed, and once again now the stores manager and the cooking assistant, they will bring the, I mean, the cooking assistant will bring the cooked pizza and collect the packing item from the stores manager, and then the pizza will be boxed, and then invoice will be kept, and then delivery address will be arranged, and all the additional items like sauce and other things and whatever you wanted to add, everything is provided to the delivery personnel. And now the delivery personnel will collect the packed item, and then he will have its vehicle ready and the address along with the GPS mapping, everything readily available. So he will take care of the delivery aspect of the pizza order, and then now the ordered pizza along with the bill and other necessary details reaches the end user. I think you now clearly understand why we are visualizing the suppliers, visualizing the input that goes into the process, the output that comes out of the process, and the output that is being received by the customer at every stage, and ultimately the end user is requirement is taken care. So this is how the Sipoc is required, and if you prepare this kind of high-level process map right at the beginning stage of the project, and it gives a clarity to the project sponsor, the person who is going to invest on your project. He gets the additional level of confidence, and he understands that the project team is really competent of fixing the problem, because you have visualized the right process which is actually failing to produce the result. And so always accompanying the project charter with a Sipoc is a great idea, and that will help you to get your project approved by the project sponsor. So basically the Sipoc diagram used is a combination of matrix, flow chart, and the summarization. And that includes suppliers, nothing but the significant internal and external suppliers to the process, and inputs, the significant inputs that goes into the process like materials, forms, information, all of them are considered inputs. And then the process, and process is nothing but a stage here that represents the a particular step in the process, and thereby the entire process is visualized starting from the start point until the end point. And then output, the significant output that comes out from every stage of the process, and catering to the needs of the internal or external customer. And customers are the the stakeholders, or the people who require the intermediate outputs, and then even the people, I mean the end user who require the final output, and all of them are visualized. This is another example of Sipoc for a welding process. Probably people who are expert, having the expertise in welding, they could easily understand. See here, the suppliers are client, welding engineer, welding foreman, welding quality inspector, the NDT testing, test engineer, and the quality inspector. All of them act as supplier, at different stages of the process. And similarly, the welding contractor, welding foreman, site manager, quality inspector, NDT technician, quality inspector, and the final client. And these people appear as the customers, right? And this is ultimate customer, and these are all intermediate customer. Without fulfilling without catering to the needs of the intermediate customer, fulfilling or satisfying the final client or your end user is very difficult. And see here, 1 2 3 4 5, only 6 steps in the process of welding are indicated. And the starting point is this: qualifying the welding procedure. You need to take some approval initially, and then you get confirmation from the client. So all the steps that are included between getting the approval for the welding procedure and then getting the confirmation from the client are considered as in scope for the project, and everything before the starting point and after the ending point are the out of scope, right? This is how the Sipoc is helping. And similarly, again, coming back to the pizza outlet process. See here, supplier, and there is a warehouse, and then there is a pizza store, and then the end user. So the warehouse stores all the pizza base and the ingredients and whatever required to be stored, that's there in the warehouse. And then there is a supplier who could make sure the optimum inventory levels are maintained in the warehouse and with the help of the warehouse manager. And then the pizza store, nothing but the outlets where the customer walks in or places an order through mobile or app, and then he gets his pizza. And now there are three types of important processes the pizza business has got, right? Food ordering. I mean, the pizza base and all the ingredients and have to be ordered, and then all of them have to be stored, and you should have them in right quantity. At the same time, the food should be always fresh. These are the requirements here. And then finally, whenever a customer places an order for a pizza, and then the pizza is prepared, and then order is delivered. And this is how the whole business happens with respect to the pizza. And now let us consider the Sipoc for the pizza storage process. When, as far as the pizza storage process is concerned, the ingredients are ordered with the warehouse manager, and then the warehouse manager actually accepts the order, and then he gives a confirmation to the stores manager, and then the items are delivered at the actual pizza outlet by the warehouse manager, and that was received by the stores manager, and the received items are refrigerated, right? So the process of pizza storage starts with ordering the food items on all the ingredients, and then finally refrigerating all the items properly. So this is how Sipoc is helping you in visualizing a process as well as improving the process. So what is that we have learned here? Let us do a quick recap. So Sipoc stands for supplier, input, process, output, and customer. Sipoc will include only the high level view of the process, showing 5 to 8 steps, not all the steps, right? Show only the major important steps, but importantly, the starting step and ending step should be included in the Sipoc diagram. The start and end points of the process must be indicated correctly so that the project can be scoped accordingly. Sipoc also helps in visualizing all the stakeholders, and hence you understand the project boundaries. Hope the lesson on Sipoc was very helpful, and I'm sure you will also identify the right process which is to be required. Sipoc is actually developed to make sure the process which you are trying to improve is actually responsible for the problem. Otherwise, what happens? You might you might end up improving a process which is not responsible for your problem or the result, right? And that shouldn't be the case. And that's why, it is a good idea to accompany Sipoc along with the project charter while submitting it for approval, right? So hope you enjoyed this lesson on Sipoc, and I'll see you again with another interesting tool in the next video. Thank you for watching.